It's no longer a woman's prerogative to look good. Every man also has to take care of himself.
Yes.
Just like every man desires his wife to look good, he should also bother about taking care of himself. I put all my passion into making food into a cosmetic. So that was my main aim at Nirmal Herbal. When I started, I thought there are herbal products all over the world. There are I mean, the most famous people make herbal products, but definitely there has to be some preservative. Otherwise, a cucumber will not stay in a bottle for too many days, right? Cleanse yourself well, keep your skin healthy inside out,
Okay.
and the skin will mirror whatever is inside. So, diet begins first, rest, sleep, exercise, everything goes with it.
Hi, welcome back to Bifocal Naturalist. Our guest today is Dr. Nirmala Shetty, a renowned naturopath and a herbal beauty therapist. Her passion has been healing, and she combines ancient practices with modern techniques. Hi, Nirmala, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, Vijaya. How are you? Such a privilege to be speaking to you today.
It's a great
I
honor,
mean, a person
Nirmala.
who's so much with nature, and me also, the same field, but of course yours is a little more different. You do more of research on nature, and I work with nature for various things.
Yes, so that's what they say. Why Botox when botanicals can help? And you're working with all
Exactly.
plant-based
Very true.
products. Yes. So
Yes, they also can help in
absolutely.
many ways.
Yeah. So Nirmala, I want to know, how did you get into beauty therapy, herbals and naturopathy?
Well, it's a long story, Vijaya. It's not like something I can quickly make it into a very short story, because it started with a passion,
Mm-hmm.
something like which, as a kid, I mean, always I had a feeling about myself, and I had a complex also, to be honest, about being dark skinned. And I now openly speak about it because I'm very happy to be what I am today. But there was a time when, as a kid, I would feel, because all my friends were very beautiful and fair, and I would always have this feeling that why am I different? But then, as I grew up, and my mother made me understand that beauty is just not skin color, it is the health of the skin. I realized it later in years. And then I decided that, okay, I can just try to see if I could modify it. I did try a lot of products made at home, so that whether if I could change something. And then I realized that this is something you're born with, and you have to accept it very gracefully and beautifully, because it is a beautiful color, and only to end up with results which improved my complexion and made it more healthier. So when you do that, your skin brightens up, it glows, and that is what everybody should look at for.
Uh-huh. That's really lovely, to understand yourself and accept and go forward. Yes, the beauty of the skin lies
That,
in its glow, not really
yes.
the color. Absolutely.
And beauty comes in when you smile and it lights up your eyes. I mean,
Yes.
nobody really looks into all that. It's basically you get a lot of creams you just apply and there is a shine. So
Yeah.
that's not it. It's happiness. And when happiness shows on your skin and your eyes and your smile, then people find you beautiful. It's very different from normal beauticians talking, or somebody who's into skincare talking like this. But I always make my clients feel they are really beautiful.
Correct. No, you are an educator also. Besides being into beauty therapy, you're also educating your clients about nutrition, about
Yes,
health, so many other
yes,
things.
yes.
Yes. I
Very
think you
true.
also run, do workshops, and then your Instagram shows so many different things. It's quite an amazing blog you have there. So, Nirmala,
You mean in the field of cooking?
yes,
The
cooking
field
also
of
is very
cooking.
important, because nutrition,
Yes.
that's where what is
No,
required. And
basically, cooking goes with my concept, Vijaya, because
uh-huh,
if you really don't know how to cook, How will you make your products? So
Mm-hmm.
when you have a passion for cooking, whether it is food or whether it is making a cosmetic, love has to go into it. It has to be made in the right proportion and in the right pleasing manner. I mean, your mind, everything should go into making it. So, as it is, I used to love cooking. So, when I started making my cosmetics from food, it became even more easier.
Correct.
I put all my passion into making food into a cosmetic. So that was my main aim at Nirmal Herbal. When I started, I thought there are herbal products all over the world. There are icon. I mean, the most famous people make herbal products, but definitely there has to be some preservative. Otherwise, a cucumber will not stay in a bottle for too many days, right? It would go bad. So
Correct.
what I decided, I will use everything neat. So my principle worked that I would grind everything together in the morning, put it in containers, ice, whatever the kind of containers I had, and immediately store it in the fridge, and we use it throughout the day. So these are disposed the next day, and some packs, some herbs stay for 2 days, but majority of the herbs or the packs that I make are all for a 1 day service thing, and facials, manicures, pedicures, everything is done with freshly ground products. So
So your,
nothing bottled.
so your focus is on fresh products,
Yes,
and
fresh.
I
Because
love your practice. You combine, the body with the mind and the spirit in a very holistic approach. Like,
very
yeah, Nirmala, I want to know, there are many young mothers, the millennials especially, who are, very worried about their children because of the modern maladies, dull skin, they're into depression, they've got headaches and brittle nails and falling hair. I mean, why is it happening and in such abundance?
See, Vijay, there are so many things to be blamed. Ideally, the kind of food that we eat today, there's lot of, I mean, there's pollution for one. The air that we breathe is not fresh. I mean, especially in a city like Bombay, you hardly have, I mean, everybody has an issue with pollution. Secondly, the food that is grown, we are not sure from where it is coming. I think something has to be done. Mainly, even the government has to first look at all these food growing practices. I mean, whether it's farming, there is organic farming, but how much, at what scale, and at what cost? So people don't really go to buy organic stuff also. So everybody eats what is normally sold in the market. And the kind of food, everybody eats healthy food, all the vegetables, all the fruits, but are we getting the right nutrition and without pesticides? So that is a big question mark. We are eating healthy, but we are not sure whether we are eating without pesticides. No, the same cabbage, if I would eat without a pesticide, or a same fruit, any fruit for that matter, without the pesticide, I will be much more healthier. So even to tell people eat a lot of fruits, eat a lot of things, but I don't know from where they are buying. So that is another big question mark. But definitely, yes, at least it is better than eating junk food or food prepared in rancid oil, right? Which people find it very tasty, of course, and they continue. There is another feeling that today I have become a vegan, okay? For years, I have not been a vegan. So I have changed my lifestyle because I understood the problems associated with that and with my health. And because of the pollution, I had respiratory issues. So I gave up all that and I'm feeling definitely better.
So you would
So I
recommend a
feel
vegan
that is
diet?
one.
So you recommend a
Yes,
vegan
now I'm
diet?
convinced. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it may not be 100% possible for everybody, but maximum people, if they follow that, it's definitely good. Then children are again very lured by the ads that come in magazines, the kind of pictures, mainly the models or the actresses portray, the kind of photography that you see, the glow on their faces, the advertising tricks. I mean, everything works on them, right? They want to look exactly like that. They want to kind of impersonate another person, which they don't realize. And sometimes the parents also give in, rather than educating them that what they are born with and they are beautiful in their own way. I'm not saying healthy skin is the most important thing. So teach them to maintain a healthy skin, a clean skin, I mean, if their digestion is good, their gut is good, they will definitely have a healthy skin, right? After all, the face just mirrors what is inside. So, food is very important. I mean, some kind of basic exercises, breathing, yoga, all those practices are well known. They do everything, but at the same time, they also do the other things which are not supposed to be done. Like a very young girl, just around 18, also will be bothered by a simple single line on her forehead or on her. Basically, even that much will affect her so much that she will decide to do something like Botox. So,
Mhm.
this is not necessary. Agreed, at some stage and some level of profession people may want to do it and they know the consequences. They are different. Every common person need not do that, right? And everybody should aim at a healthy way of living rather than just thinking of becoming another person.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Nirmala, how did you get into it, and who are your mentors? Did you have any role models in naturopathy and herbal beauty therapy?
See, basically, as a kid, I've always admired Shehnaz Hussain in the beginning. In the sense, I used to read her books. I read about her because she was a herbal queen at that time, right?
Right.
So whatever she would make products and all, I did. It was very expensive for me at that time, but I did try a few of them, and I did like it. So I decided, okay, I follow this path. I read a lot about it. I read a lot of other books on naturopathy and all. I did a course in naturopathy. I did a course in about being a integrated nutrition health coach. So I did various courses to understand the whole being of a human being. Basically, the mind, the body. It just is not about skin, but it helped me. It helped me in my research because I realized if this goes bad, something goes bad with the liver, what can happen? You can get pigmentation, you can get melasma. There can be so many reasons. So everything that happens on your skin has a cause. So to understand that, I had to understand so many other sciences, right, related to the body. So I did these different courses. And Shehnaz Hussain, later on, there was a diversion, I guess, a little bit. And then I decided if she's going to kind of sell cucumber in a bottle or another fruit in a bottle, I would rather sell it neat.
Hmm.
So that's how I started making products and selling it fresh. Fresh, when I give my products, it's only given as homework. It's not sold on any shop or counterparts anywhere.
Uh-huh. Across
So
the
that I
range.
know what my client is taking, how is her skin, how is it going to be working for her, what I can tell her to add into it to give better results, rather than a standard prescription, use this cream for such and such purpose, and I don't promise anything like fairness or something like that.
So how do you determine, what kind of a skin your client has?
Well, there are norms about you understand what your skin, the person is. So we definitely have a case history study. Then we find out how her skin is, how she feels during the daytime and nighttime, or basically how her skin reacts. She would know better. So we take down all that and then conclude and then go back to the genes, her parents, what type of skin they had, because that also plays a very important role. And generally everybody inherit their parents skin condition or any other health issues which can be altered if you decide, okay, my mom had this problem of pigmentation. Yes, it may be genetic, but you can definitely not leave it away saying that it is going to be there. You can control it, you can make it, I mean, you can prevent it from going worse.
Mhm. You were invited by a leading hotel, to come and practice over there. So can you tell me about it and how it happened?
Well, about Grand Hyatt, right? I mean, that was the Hyatt Regency actually. So when I was in Bandra at my clinic, the chairman's wife, co- General, what was his name? Roger Wright. His wife used to come to me as a general person who would come for treatments. And she realized that I'm doing everything natural. And she also noticed one more thing, that we don't do disparity between clients. I mean, for me, a model is similar to any other person, and I would treat everybody equally, which she liked. So she asked me whether I could come and join the company, the Hyatt Regency. So I told her, actually, I have no experience in working in hotels and all. These are my first beginnings, like that time. In fact, her husband taught me how business runs and how one should do it. So I was there for 3 years, and it gave me a lot of exposure and a lot of learning, because I had a lot of NRI and even foreign clients, and their skin condition is very delicate. So it gave me a chance to study how to handle those kind of skin conditions also, because they would get allergic to almost every element. They were allergic to almonds, and which was one of the main products that I use. So I had to think of some other counterpart which would substitute for almonds. So that way it was a learning process. It gave me a lot of good experience.
Mhm. So what would you
So then I moved on to other centers.
say?
Sorry?
I think you had a very interesting journey, very, very interesting journey as a
Yes, yes.
therapist.
It began when I was working.
Ah,
Was
acha.
traveling in the train, sharing my little concoctions of these products, and then I realizing that I have to go, really professional, do courses. So it's like going backward to all that stories. And it started with one simple interview in Femina, which was a big hit. And from there was no looking back, because I treated the person, the editor who was a part of that magazine, and she was happy and she put me straight in the books. And then I could not stay back working in a corporate company anymore.
Aha. So you moved on. That's very nice. Nirmala, what would you recommend for young children? When we uh, apply soap to them, creams in the night, powders, talcum, what would you recommend? How do we keep the, regimen of a child?
See, basically, right from childhood, if you decide not to use soap, it is better, because soap makes the skin very alkaline. And if the skin is acidic, it is able to ward off bacterial attacks. Now, because of so many hormonal changes, today everything has changed. Girls reach their puberty much more earlier. Like in the older days, people would reach it by 13, 14, 15. But
Yes.
even today, by 10 and 11, they are all reached their puberty, because the kind of food that we eat, even a simple thing like a chocolate, if you see, we would all share, one simple Cadbury into so many of us.
Correct.
But today, each child gets a whole slab.
Hmm.
So you see how much we pamper our kids and we give them everything. And then what happens? Puberty goes under a big issue. Then they start getting pimples and acne much before time. So the best way is to avoid soap completely. Use any kind of a lentil, like suppose you take green gram, people have used basin all throughout, but some people are allergic to basin. So you can opt for green moong. That is very good. Okay, so you grind it at home, you wash it, dry it, make sure it's clean, because see, when it comes from the market, you don't know from where how much pesticides or what they have added. So wash it well, dry it up, coarse grind it, or soft grind for babies and all. And then you can add oats into it, you can add almonds into it, almond powder. Make a nice concoction. If you add turmeric, even more better. It acts like the very good hair depilatory kind of an action it has. So you can start putting for girls, not for boys. But even boys can be treated with the same kind of packs. It's nothing majorly different, because they also play, they also have, backs and all which are not really very clean, their neck and all. They don't allow the parents to scrub. So these packs help them to give a very good scrub and keep it clean. So you can mix them with milk, you can mix them with any juice if you like.
So do you?
And children, youngsters who are getting acne should make sure that they try to apply carrot juice almost every day.
Uh-huh.
Just grate. You don't have to grind or make a mixer. Grate and squeeze even 2 teaspoons. Just
Mhm.
apply it to the children's skin. They don't even feel it then. They may not like packs, no, but they may like juices. So you can apply orange juice on their face. You can put watermelon juice. These are just like take a cotton and dab it and put it and it's dried. So you do this 2, 3 times and see the difference it brings into their skin. So if you start early, the results are even more better, rather than only at the time of the wedding where the mother is concerned, the bride is concerned, and then they're all in a panic state. I have to look beautiful in 1 month's time. So that's a little difficult, I guess.
And we had this practice, when we were young of applying oil in the hair, right? And then
Yeah.
middle the practice came, that people stopped applying oil, saying it's not good. What is your take on it?
See, basically, I feel massage is good, right? And you need a medium for massage. So
Mhm.
whether you take oil or you take coconut milk or you take a juice of any vegetable, you
Uh-huh.
need some medium. And that helps us to generally massage well and also helps blood to circulate. So the
Mhm.
follicles receive the blood well rather than a dry massage which can break the hair. So I feel oil is important and it's a good medium, but it's not necessary to keep it overnight like most of people believe. Earlier it was okay, there was no dust, no pollution, and nothing would probably stick on everybody's hair. But today, if you walk with an oily scalp, you're definitely going to get dandruff. I
Very
mean,
practical.
particles would stick, right? So
Hmm.
if you just put it on for 2 hours at home and then wash your hair off, it's good enough. But you've got to massage it a little. It's
Uh-huh.
very important.
And there is so much of a problem of falling hair. You find even young girls, alopecia, and there's so many things happening. Hair is falling. I mean, how do you take care of that? How do you prevent it? Once it comes, it's difficult to control. But how do you prevent such things from happening?
But then you have to look at everything, it's an all round thing. Like we have to check their diet, whether they are really having good food. Sometimes they go on a fasting spree just to reduce weight. So they are really cutting out of so many things. Sometimes it's only that they are taking only proteins and not the other essential minerals and all, which is necessary. So these diets can be, some may be good, some may not be good. So that can be one problem. Secondly, they don't cleanse their face while retiring to bed. They just leave their makeup on. That's another thing. There should be no residue, right? And then they should use the right kind of product on their face so that nothing can go wrong. Then eating well, drinking a lot of water, getting the right sleep. Then stress is the biggest thing. So you see, so many factors go into it. And then one small pimple, and they worry so much that it causes even more. So everybody gets paranoid at the sight of one small little boil. It's
That
like
is
that.
true. That is true. So, what are the techniques you use? When somebody comes to your clinic to make the person feel, calm and relaxed. What are the different techniques you use?
Basically, see, we don't use any gadgets, okay? So the first, after the consultation, if the person is keen on understanding their skin type and taking it from me, that what they will do as a follow-up, then I give them the guidance. Then they start with a cleanup. We don't immediately put them into facials. Once the cleanup is done, and we check whether every product suited her. If it suited her, we give her a dry product which she will mix with some element. Either it could be a liquid or maybe even a thick. It could be any other thing which I would feel like. Put some oil into it if it's a very dry skin type of condition. Then she will mix it with that and apply every day instead of soap. So there will be 2 packs for her morning and evening. Besides that, the diet chart will be given that she has to follow. Then, of course, the restraints on falling asleep on time and all that will be given. And once she follows that, definitely, yes, things. But if she's got even a major hormonal problem, can be treated if she goes the vegan way and approaches the right person to understand what all she can eat. Because very often it is the other way that when people eat a lot of meat and fried food and all that, they also end up with a lot of hormonal issues.
Many people, and not necessarily the elderly, even the young, today are faced with insomnia. Many people say, I can't go to sleep. Is there anything, which we can take to induce sleep or calm yourself so that, you get drowsy and have a good night's sleep?
I'll be very honest with you, Vijay. Even I cannot sleep. So that's a joke. The reason is because when you're the thinking type, okay, sometimes people in that profession, whichever they are very much bothered about what they are doing or they have to prepare for the next day. Then obviously they spend a lot of time planning the night over a little bit. But everybody knows that one has to sleep by max before 10 at least. And by dinner should be early as about 7:30, which many are practicing. I have started practicing and I'm feeling very good about it. In fact, after 7:30 now, I don't feel like eating food at all. So eating at the right time, sleeping at the right time is very, very important. And then we have got this, I mean, we just cannot avoid the mobile, right? So that is something which is has created havoc in every phase of life, whether it's a kid or it's a young teenager or an adult also. Most of them are hooked on to that. And that blue lights definitely affect you and you don't fall asleep. Unless you go back to sleep at sharp night, put the lights off, make it a dark room. There are so many easy remedies, but we are not able to follow it, right?
That's true.
That's the only hitch.
Yeah. So can you
And
give
then talking to friends,
ha
maybe that is also there. It makes you happy. So you keep
happiness?
chatting. So
Yes,
there are pros and cons of both.
both. Can you give us some tips, some simple home remedies? Can you suggest something, for children, for adolescents?
See, what I would suggest if the kid is about, if people are later on bothered about excessive hair growth,
Hmm.
right? When they're kids only, like about 1 year and all, especially the girls, I'm talking about babies, girls.
Mhm.
Like you can take an egg white,
Uh-huh.
beat it well. Okay, it should not be, it should become frothy because if you just take an egg white, it'll slip
Hmm.
and there should be no yellow into it. You should remove it very well. Okay. And then you massage the baby with that every day before bath.
Uh-huh.
That I can assure you that the child as it grows will have fewer hair strands or maybe none at all.
Oh,
I
really?
thank my mother for that. She did
Uh-huh.
that to me. I
Okay.
haven't waxed ever in my life.
Oh, this is
So, I
amazing.
mean, having a salon, people
Uh-huh.
generally feel it's a big job to go to a salon and get,
Yeah.
waxed. But in my spa, I've never waxed because it never happened to me. So that I owe it to my mom, which she always believed in that and she did that for me.
So you do it with your grandchildren also?
I have two boys, so I
Okay.
think I would let their hair grow probably. I mean,
Okay.
I don't want to use that
Boys,
on them.
no. Yeah, yeah, boys, it's
Yeah. But if I had a granddaughter, yes, I would do a lot of things.
thanks for that. Yes, so that's really nice. And what about, as we grow old, as we are aging, what kind of, care should we take for our skin and, our hair, especially our hair?
See, basically, one thing is as we are growing after age 50, like
Hmm,
suppose you have started looking at yourself from the age of 30, which I'm sure by 50 you'll still be looking young.
hmm,
Even 60, you'll cross over easily. But if you haven't looked at yourself thinking that now is there's time, and then you come up to 60s, then you're going to feel there is going to be a change. There is going to be loss of collagen and all in the skin. That is unavoidable. So the first thing is to accept your age gracefully and not be too worried about that or about the fine little lines which tell so many experience, your stories of life. So we must accept all that, but you can do many things naturally to make your skin still look better and beautiful even with the lines. It's not necessary that each line has to disappear, even if you're 65 or 70. So I think we just have to accept, and you can do a lot of things like I have certain packs made of honey and apricot,
uh-huh,
okay, which and almond and all, which really help a lot and don't dry up the skin. So drying is one of the major issues of old age, right? Of
right.
course, you have adult acne also, but that is a different story and a different reason.
Hmm,
But if it major causes lack of collagen, lack of oil in the skin. So
yeah.
probably you can work that up with different kind of good oils which are there for the skin, massaging every day, but not massaging on a dry skin, but massaging on a moist skin. So after a
What
bath,
do
when
you
your
mean?
skin is really
Okay, when
moist,
it's
it
wet.
should be a little wet. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
Never put anything on a dry skin, even your moisturizer or your cold cream or whatever you are using. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
suggesting anything at the moment. But supposing now you're thinking in winter you want to use sesame or till oil.
Hmm.
Okay. So just rather mix it with water and massage.
Okay,
But
it's
if it's the skin
interesting.
itself is moist, it will receive it well and not make it tight or make you feel itchy about it. Whereas supposing you have very dry skin and try rubbing oil, how much ever you apply, you will feel irritated.
Mhm.
It won't give you a soothing feeling.
Oh, this is an excellent
So
tip,
keeping it,
Nirmala.
yeah,
It's an excellent
it's
tip.
very
I never
important.
knew about this.
Yeah.
Any,
Or it's like after a bath,
huh?
you just take a mug of water, put some oil into it, and take it as the last rinse. Okay,
Uh-huh.
pour
Okay.
it all over. But one thing you've got to be careful: you've not got to slip in the bathroom. You
Yes.
see, so
Yes.
that also I will tell.
Huh.
Then you will probably have to get something and clean it off because that is the thing one has to be careful of.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Very
And for
interesting.
the hair,
Yeah.
one can do many things. You can just say boil some rosemary leaves, some methi leaves. You can put even fenugreek seeds,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all together. And no need of shikakai and all. See, they were used, but shikakai and amla all good, but they are a little drying. But today
Mm-hmm.
you get a lot of herbs available in India itself, and they are grown in our country too. So
Mm-hmm.
rosemary, there is thyme. So these leaves become very potent in helping the hair follicles to become to get activated. You can also use neem leaves, some of the neem leaves. You
Mm-hmm.
can put simple amaranth, which is called chauli. That is also good. So all
Uh-huh.
these, the water of that, after it's boiled, you strain it and just use it as a simple, what you would say, a rinsing material after your shampoo,
Mm-hmm.
or just as a serum to make your hair healthy.
Yeah, because amaranth
That is
is
one.
very reasonable. The cost is very reasonable,
Yeah, yeah, very
and
reasonable. So
good
it's
to
not
be done.
necessary that if one can do things at home, there are a lot of remedies. Like I
Uh-huh.
had written in my book, which I have
Yes.
written
Yeah.
about the simplest things from the kitchen. People may think it's a very simple book, but that's the easiest one can do, right? If I write, I also could write about very different and rare herbs, but then people have problem of where to find them.
Try to locate them. That
Right?
is true.
I can acquire them from places, but each person cannot.
Absolutely.
So, there are a lot of people asking me to open up in different areas in outside Bombay. So I said that is not possible because I grind everything. If it was powdered products, I could really open it all over the place. But then I thought it is also the consistency and the client understanding what we are trying to tell them, that how it should be mixed. And each product, for them, the mixing thing would be different. It's not the same because each skin is so different. For
Yeah.
some people, curd suits. For some people, milk suits. For
Uh-huh.
some, nothing. Right now, because I've become vegan, I'm even started using coconut milk for
Mm-hmm.
mixing instead of dairy milk.
Uh-huh.
So
That's
changes keep
interesting.
happening.
No, I was listening somewhere, they said for a small baby, if the mother is not there, mother's milk is not there, the second best alternative is coconut milk.
Yes, very true.
That is what I heard.
And
So,
you can even massage with that coconut milk. If you
okay,
are afraid of using any product like gram flour or green gram, because doctors also do not advise these days because maybe a child can be allergic.
correct.
Coconut milk, I think nothing really can go wrong.
It's very safe. Nirmala, can you give us any message? We would like a message from you for, the women, especially, the young women. And
Well, it's not only for men, women, I would say it's no longer a woman's prerogative to look good and to feel good.
absolutely,
I, yeah.
absolutely.
Every man also has to take care of himself.
Yes.
Just like every man desires his wife to look good, he should also bother about taking care of himself. So it's a simple logic that just cleanse yourself well, keep your skin healthy, inside out. That is the main way you will be healthy always.
Okay.
And the skin will mirror whatever is inside. So diet begins first, rest, sleep, exercise, everything goes with it.
Okay. What about fasting? Is intermittent fasting good?
I'm not, I would say fasting definitely is good when people have decided that, but there is a way how to fast.
Hmm.
Like I have learned through various groups, like I've also known a group called Sharan now, which I have
Yes.
taken their principles and worked on myself for bettering my health also. Where I noticed fasting did help because when you fast, your body rests, it's able to repair itself and bring out its best. So once in a while, even once a week fasting, that is why so many things in our Hindu custom, we do have Ekadishi, and which I would never understand in the beginning. But I think they all have their reasons. So fasting is definitely a boon, and you can just have water for that day or one nariyal pani or something. And these people, there are groups who tell you how to do it and all that.
Correct.
So it's a very well established platform for people who want to understand everything. But even I have learned that fasting is one of the best ways to cleanse yourself, to detox yourself.
I think that is
So I
why
do fast
across,
once in a while.
yeah, across religions, fasting is prescribed. You go to
Yes.
Hinduism or Islam or
Jainism.
Christianity, everywhere fasting is
Jainism.
prescribed. I think that is something, a very ancient wisdom. Thank you so much, Nirmala. It was really wonderful
Oh, it was
listening to you.
my
And
pleasure entirely, Shuk. Really. Yeah.
And you gave us so
I,
many tips, and I'm sure we're going to put up some of your recipes, for
yes,
the viewers to have a look at and use it. And we'll also share Nirmala's address, her contact details, so you can approach her. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful, Nirmala.
my
Finally,
pleasure
I got
entirely.
you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vijaya. My pleasure entirely.